Something may persist while its organization changes, so persistence cannot be equated with remaining unchanged. Continuity must therefore be distinguished from invariance. The problem consequently has two parts. It must account for what carries continuity across change, and how the effects of earlier changes can persist. A carrier provides a way to locate this continuity without treating any one organization as invariant. The carrier maintains continuity across change, while a carrier state represents its organization at a particular stage. The same carrier can therefore persist despite differences between its states. Successive carrier states cannot be treated as unrelated if they are organizations of the same carrier. A carrier state transition describes the passage from the present organization of the carrier to its resulting organization. It remains a transition of the same carrier insofar as continuity is preserved across the change. Within a transition, variation is the source of organizational change. It acts upon the present organization and contributes to the resulting organization. Identifying variation as the source of change does not yet explain how it contributes to the result, or how its effects may be retained. Explaining this requires the idea of integration. Integration describes the incorporation of variation into the resulting organization. Through that incorporation, the present organization is transformed, while some of its features may be retained within the result. Integration is not simple addition because the resulting organization depends upon the relation between present organization and variation. The organized relation through which present organization and present variation produce the resulting organization can be described by an integration function. This function governs whether and how present variation becomes incorporated into the result, and how the present organization is transformed through that incorporation. The term function is used qualitatively to identify this organized relation, rather than a numerical rule for predicting particular outcomes. When transitions are considered successively, integration can shape what follows, because the resulting organization of one transition becomes the organization from which the next proceeds, and in this sense becomes inherited organization. The subsequent transition therefore begins from organization already shaped by previously integrated variation, rather than receiving that variation as a separate past input. Recursive succession follows when each resulting organization becomes the inherited basis of the next transition. This does not require every variation to be integrated or retained indefinitely. Later transitions may preserve, modify, displace, or lose earlier organization. Each transition within this recursive succession admits a Markovian interpretation. Its result depends upon the present inherited organization and the variation acting upon it, without separately consulting preceding carrier states. Markovianity therefore describes the dependency structure of the present transition. It does not imply that the present organization lacks a history. Earlier transitions nevertheless remain consequential because the organization they help to form is inherited by the present state. History matters because it changed the present, not because a separate record of the carrier's trajectory must be supplied to each transition. Historical retention describes how organization shaped by previously integrated variation persists through inheritance. The relationship can now be stated precisely. Markovianity specifies what the resulting organization of the present transition depends upon, while historical retention explains how preceding transitions can remain consequential through the present inherited organization they help to form, rather than as separately consulted past inputs. Taken separately, neither account completes the logic. Markovianity does not by itself explain this historical retention, whereby preceding transitions remain consequential through inherited organization. Historical retention, in turn, does not by itself specify what the resulting organization of the present transition depends upon. A complete account of carrier state succession must connect these two aspects by showing how the resulting organization of one transition becomes the inherited organization upon which the next transition depends. The logic of carrier state transitions can therefore be expressed as an inclusive carrier state transition law. The inclusive carrier state transition law states that present variation acts upon the present inherited organization through integration, producing a resulting organization that remains a state of the same carrier and becomes the inherited basis of the subsequent transition. Applied recursively, the law describes how organization shaped through integration becomes inherited across successive carrier states, and how previously integrated variation can thereby remain consequential. Persistence, change, and history are thereby distinguished without being separated. Persistence is realized through continuity of the carrier, change through the integration of present variation, and history through this recursive inheritance.